Parshas Devarim, Tovshin Ayin Daled. Today is Daled of, the fourth day of the month of Av, which is the day before Heyav. Heyav is the yahrzeit of the Arizal. Zecher Tzadik v'Kodesh Lavrocha Schus Yagon Aleinu Val Kol Yisrael. Tonight, which will be tonight and tomorrow, and it's also the yahrzeit of one of the most significant rabbis in my life, Reb Michal Dorfman Zechron Lavrocha, Reb Yechiel Michal, Reb Yeshua David Alevi, and we dedicate the Shir Leilu Nishmasai. We're starting Chumash Devarim, and the rabbis tell us that the first four Chumashim really make up the essence of the Torah. The fifth Chumash, Chumash Devarim, is called Mishnah Torah. It's a review of the entire, all other four books, and in a sense has everything in it. And this is where Moshe Rabbeinu is standing at the finish line. He's at the end of his life, and the Jews are standing at the finish line of the era, the greatest era in Klal Yisrael, Moshe Rabbeinu and the Doyer Deya, as they were known, the generation of knowledge, where despite the fact that when we look at the Chumash, it looks to us as if these guys got it all wrong. Every minute they're making mistakes. Every minute they're making Moshe Rabbeinu nuts, and they're making themselves nuts, and they're messing up every way a person can possibly mess up. The Arizal tells us that those people, the students of Moshe Rabbeinu, were obviously on a much higher level than the rabbis of the Gemara. Rabbi Akiva, Rabbi Tarfon. So we're talking about the top, very high level, because of Moshe Rabbeinu. Because Moshe Rabbeinu was on such a high level, obviously anyone who was attached to him was way, way, way up there. And yet, we see all kinds of problems, and we see them making every kind of mistake in the world. We hardly see any reprimand at all whatsoever in the four books, in the four Chumashim. This Chumash, Chumash Devarim, begins with the words, these are the words which Moshe Rabbeinu spoke to the Jewish people. And here also, it's hidden. It's very well hidden. He doesn't actually reprimand them in an obvious way. He lists the places, the locations where they messed up. Remember this place? Remember that place? And he does this right before he's about to leave the world. Reprimand is called toichocha, lohochiach. There's a pasuk in the Torah which says, hoicheach toichiach esamisecha. It doesn't say it once, it doesn't say reprimand, it says reprimand your friend. However, Rabbi Nasan, the final shir that Rabbi Nasan, that Rabbi Nachman gave in his lifetime, the last public appearance on Rosh Hashanah of the year Tov Kuf Ayin Aleph, when he was 38 years old, when he left the world a few days later, on the 18th of Tishrei, on Chol Hamoed Sukkos, the final shir that Rabbi Nasan said, he began with the words, even though tochacha is an obligation and it's a mitzvah and it's so important, he quoted the words of Rabbi Akiva in the Gemara. He said that Rabbi Akiva said during his time, I wonder if there's anybody that's qualified to reprimand the Jew. And Rabbi Nasan said, if Rabbi Akiva said that during his time, could you imagine what we should say today? Could you imagine how difficult and how delicate and how dangerous it is for any Jew to reprimand another Jew? And Rabbi Nasan explains in Choshen Mishpat, Chelek Aleph, Hilkhos Oreyv, Halacha Gimel, paragraphs 30 and 31, Rabbi Nasan explains that we have a real paradox here. On one hand, we're told, impossible for the Torah to be fulfilled unless this is done. There's definitely going to be a need for reprimand. There's going to be a need for parents to reprimand children. There's going to be a need for rabbis to reprimand community. The Gemara says that a rabbi who is loved by his entire congregation, he ain't no rabbi. He obviously is not fulfilling his responsibility. So Rabbi Nasan says that this mitzvah of a Jew being responsible for another Jew, that when I see somebody else doing something wrong, I've got to scream, ouch. It's got to hurt me. And I've got to try to think, what can I do to prevent this person from doing it again, from wanting to do it again? The real way that a person fulfills this mitzvah is through desire. Rotzain. I want the person to do the right thing. Because Rabbi Nasan says, when the Torah says that you should reprimand your friend, which one of us is nuts, is crazy enough to think that we could reprimand somebody else? Do you know exactly where that person is at? And which person can honestly say that they're confident that the other guy is going to listen to them? Therefore, Rabbi Nasan says, it's extremely difficult to fulfill the mitzvah of Teichocha. Then how can I fulfill this mitzvah? What can I do about this? Rabbi Nasan says, I can want to do it. I want to see every one of my friends succeed in life. I want to see their success in Shalom Bayis, in Parnas, in everything. That we can do. And Moshe Rabbeinu understood to wait and wait and wait till he gets to a level of such a high level where his desires are so pure, only positive, only goodwill on behalf of Klal Yisrael. That's when he did it. We should be zeicha that the Moshe Rabbeinus, the true tzaddikim, should give us a type of toichocha. There's a pasuk, Eis asher yehav Hashem yochiach. One who Hashem loves, he reprimands. Rabbi Nasan here shows us what it's really all about. The peak of success in Klal Yisrael is when each person will want only good for every other Jew. I want every other Jew, including myself, to come close to Hashem, to do the right thing. And in that sense, we'll be zeicha to see the coming of Moshiach, the building of the Beis Mikdash, Me'er Yameinu, Amen v'Amen.